Acha. Now listen again. Hey, again. Can you see a field? Can you see a field? Yes, same. Can you see a field? Yes, IPCC, qualification, field. Yes, Divya, name, field. Roll number, that is student number, field. And can I say this is the record of Mr. RP? All records are put together to form a table. And here I now call this table as prof. Prof, professional details. Okay. Now see, this table and this table both contains different information about the same entity. So I need to put both these tables together. So I am keeping both these tables together inside one common container, and this one common container is called as a database. It is called as what? Database. I'll name the database, and the name of the database is student. Understanding? So, database can be splitted into tables. Tables can be splitted into records. Records can be splitted into fields. Other way around. Fields come together to form a records come together to form a tables come together to form a. And this method of storing the data in an organized fashion is called as database management systems. I started with a story, but I ended teaching you one concept. Is it very fine? Are you understanding this? Now, I also taught you a concept called as hierarchy of data storage. I have also taught you a topic called as hierarchy of data. First is a field, next is and the fourth is. Now everyone knows what is a field, what is a record, what is a table, what is a database. Understanding? Getting this? Okay. Now, the next thing that we are supposed to study, I'll keep the same thing as base. Okay? Next thing we are supposed to study is something called as key. Key. A key is nothing but a field which will help to describe some entity. A key is a field. Now you know now what is field. A key is a field which will help you to describe some entity. What are the different types of keys? Number one is called as candidate key. First one is called as candidate key. Now what exactly is a candidate key? A candidate key is a field or collection of fields which will help to describe an entity. I repeat, candidate key is a field, one field or collection of fields which will help to describe an entity. I say Satya. Satya is this boy, it is this record. With the help of only just one name, Satya, I am able to describe the entity. Now someone is saying Divya, then I am saying, oh Divya. That girl who is in KG, which girl are you talking about? That who is in A division, there are many Divyas in A division. Then whose age is 5. That small girl you are talking about? Yes. Now, for describing this entity, I need help of n number of fields. That is also called as candidate key. So candidate key is a key or is a field or collection of field using which I can describe a entity. Understanding? Next one is called as primary key. Primary key is that one single field using which I will be able to describe an entity in a unique manner. I'll explain what is this. I'll be able to describe an entity in a unique manner. Unique manner means one field and that value is never repeated. One field whose value is never null. Null means nothing. Like for example, see over here, Ram Prakash, is he having the division? No division. This is null value. So division cannot be that field because it is having null value. Check out age. If you see this age very carefully, after 100 records, don't you think this age will be repeated? So it cannot be a primary, it cannot be a primary key. Primary key requires to follow two constraints. Number one, the value should not be repeated. Number two, it cannot be null. Standard, you can see it is repeated. Name, Raj is that name which is very common. Divya is that name which is very common. Abhirami is new, I am hearing. Janani also I have heard. Satya is also, it is less but it is heard. So that also cannot be it. What's the only field remaining? Student number. 1 means Satya, 3 means Ram Prakash, 5 means Raj, and it is not vacant, it is not null for any record. Am I right or wrong? So this particular field becomes primary key. So what's a primary key? Primary key is that field which will describe a specific entity uniquely. Understanding? After primary key, the next one is called as secondary key. After primary key, the next one is called as secondary key. Any candidate key which is not a primary key is a secondary key. Any candidate key which is not a primary key is a secondary key. If I am tossing a coin, if it is not head, obviously it has to be a tail. If it is not a boy, it has to be a girl. I am talking general. Am I right or wrong? It is in the same way. If a particular field is not a primary key, it is a secondary key. And last one is called as alternate key. An alternate key, listen very carefully. An alternate key is a primary key which is not used as a primary key. Confusing? I'll explain. I have one more field called as phone number. It's in table PDET. Now, in today's world, everyone is having a phone number. I mean, a cell phone. And everyone is having a different number, na? Is the number repeating? Okay, Raj and Satya, Raj and Ram Prakash has the same number. Ram Prakash's girlfriend is calling and the phone is ringing off. Mr. Raj, don't be happy. He's 54 years old. His girlfriend will be your auntie or grandma. Shh, please, calm down. Are you understanding? Don't you think this particular phone number has got all the qualifications to be a primary key? It is not null. It is also not repeated. So phone number is a primary key. But even though this phone number is a primary key, is it now in this case used as primary key? No. Who is the primary key now? Student number. That's why phone number becomes a alternate key, which is a primary key, but it is not used as primary key. So when I talk about keys, number one is primary. Then, one is candidate key. Primary key, secondary key, and alternate key. Are you understanding? Is the concept clear? Yes or no? Okay. So we now proceed with some technical details about the same topic. Okay, so what is database management system? I said database management system is a system where we will be storing the data in an organized fashion. Am I right? It can be also elaborated and it can be said in technical terms. The database management system is knowing, acquiring, organizing of data. We should first know the data which is to be recorded. Whatever we want to record, we should acquire it. And after acquiring it, before storing, it has to be properly organized. The same thing I demonstrated in this classroom. Okay, if you can see over there, I know what I want. I want name, I want standard, I want division, I want age. I know what I want. Then I asked Satya, yes, tell me what's your name, tell me what's your standard, tell me what is your standard division. I am acquiring it. And I did not wrote it on different lines. I organized it properly. I organized it in the terms of rows and columns. Are you understanding? And that is nothing but something called as database management systems. It's all about quality assurance. Quality assurance means assuring that you get quality each time, every time. So database management systems will give me information which is a quality information. Nothing wrong in that. Plus, it will give me the data quick and fast, because if I want to search the data of one Mr. Satya, I'll not go checking each and every page. I'll just type the text which is required to be searched. Satya. I'll get 140 Satyas. Then I'll say Chennai. I'll get 12 Satyas. Now I can check 12 records. Na? So the time which is spent or the time which is saved, I can say, is much more. That's why we call it as quality assurance. And it is actually a software tool for organizing the data in an organized fashion. That is nothing but database management systems. Then, what are the various advantages of database management systems? Number one is minimizing the data redundancy. Data redundancy refers to repetition of the data. Suppose I am asking him, hey, what's your name, number, roll number? I'll type it. Suppose after say some few months, I am asking again, Satya, what's your name? What's your roll number? He'll tell me. But the system will give me an error. Hey, this roll number already exists. That means this data already is existing in my table, in my database. So don't you think repetition of data can be avoided? And that's nothing but minimizing the data redundancy. It also permits data sharing. Now, what is data sharing? I'll tell you. Suppose I have a record of 100 students. This is a record of 100 students. Raj is asking me for this data. I am giving this data. But when I pass on this file, do I have that file? No. If I need the data at the same point of time, can I get it? Can I get it? No. That means, can we share the data? No. But if I was having the data in this format which is seen on your screen right now, I can create an image of this and I can pass. That means he is seeing the data on his computer. I am seeing the same data on my computer. Don't you think we are sharing the data? Yes. It shows that with the help of database management system, you can share the data. Next is integrity can be maintained. Now, what is integrity? I'll tell you. Look at this particular page. Look at this particular page. Okay, this is the copy with me. Same image is with Raj. Now, Raj is updating this table. There are more number of records. Like for example, there is a scope for upgrading Divya's record. Divya was still in 12th standard. Now she is a graduate. That has been updated over here. A change made by Raj can be seen or can be reflected in my copy. That means these files are linked with each other. A change made in one source can be seen at other source or can be seen at other resources, I can say. This is called as data integrity. Suppose I had given him a Xerox of a hard copy. If he make changes in that hard copy, can that same changes occur in my original copy? That's the disadvantage of using traditional method of storing data or the hard copy. But in soft copy, any changes made at any point, at any source, it will be incorporating those changes inside all the resources. And that's the advantage I get. See, when I have database of students, when I have database of my employees, okay, their salary changes, na? I mean to say their basic changes. But that basic change has got an impact on entire salary calculation, na? So that change has to be incorporated over here. Should I do it manually? No. But if I have a database management systems, that change will be incorporated automatically, and that's the advantage that you get. And that is the advantage that you get. Then next one is that is called as integrity can be maintained. Next is called as file consistency. File consistency is maintaining the file very properly. Okay, updated information you should receive every point of time. See, what people do is they don't care to update their manual systems. So we don't have updated information. But with the help of a computerized system and because of data integrity, file consistency can be maintained. Everyone in the organization will be able to see the same data that I am seeing. That is called as file consistency. To be consistent, to give the same performance, or to be seen same everywhere. That is called as consistency. Next advantage is it should be user friendly. It should be user friendly. User friendly means I am talking about you should be able to handle this particular system efficiently. If this was a very complex system, then people won't use it. People won't use it. But a database management system is a simple software to handle. That's called as user friendly. Database management system can provide you with security, improved security you will get. Database have their own data encryption systems. They have their own passwords. They can also maintain different user levels. Like top management can see everything. Middle management can see only the data of their department. And lower level management can see the data of only day-to-day activities. We are creating levels of accessing the data. That's called as access control. That can be done in database management system. Program and data independence. Now this is a technical point. Just remove that pen. Now if you see this book, in this book you have data, right? And whatever system I am implementing, it will be implemented on this book only. Am I right? So data is the same, book is the same, right? Any changes made in the system, the data will be affected. But this is not a good sign. My data should not be affected. So what will I do? I will have database management system. In a database management system, you will be having a database where I will be storing the data. And the program which is handling the data is not embedded with the system. It is different. Whatever changes I want to make in the system, I'll make it over here. The changes will be incorporated over here, but it won't disturb the original data. And that is called as data independence. The data is kept independently at a different place. You want to access the name, I'll make changes over here. I want name, standard and division, I'll make the change over here. I want name, qualification and monthly salary, I will make a change over here. This will not be touched. It ensures that my data is never touched and it ensures that my data is safeguarded. Are you understanding? This exactly is called as Program, data, independence. Program is independent, data is independent. It is always the advantage. Then faster application development. Next one is called as faster application development. Obviously, because the data is not embedded in the system, your data is safe and secure. Whatever changes I want to make, I will not worry about the data. What will happen to my data? Nothing will happen to my data. Whatever I want to make change, I'll make it bindas. No problem whatsoever. So I will be fearless when I am upgrading or I am changing my system. A change in system will not affect your data. That's why faster application development is possible. What is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is the cost. The cost of creating the database management system is very heavy. Very heavy. You should be able to afford it. Once it is created, then maintaining it is not difficult. So those organizations who have limited capital cannot go for database management systems. And the last is security. See, we have best of the security, but if the particular person or a hacker, if he hacks this system, my data is also gone and my system is also gone. This is double or nothing. It's like double or nothing. If you have everything, but if it is lost, everything is lost. Understanding? That was nothing but database management system. Still, we are in the same topic. This topic is very big. I have to teach you database models, all these things I'm supposed to teach you. But right now, will you note down the things? The advantages, the disadvantages, the database hierarchy I have taught you the key, everything I have taught you. Okay? Finished? Asha, listen. Listen one thing. This, whatever I have written over here, you might think it is not required. But after 6 months, when you will open your notes, maybe at that time you won't understand what exactly the things are. That time this will help you out. It's not a compulsion. Those students who need it should take this down. But just looking at this diagram, you will recall everything. Copy. दम मारायला गेला होता की काय? दम मारायला गेला होता? काय नाही रे, असंच. आई गा, एक जोरदार टॉपिक शिकवला, थकलोच आईला.
Why do we use CC, BCC in mails?
CC, CC means carbon copy, means you want to send the same mail to another person. And BCC is blank carbon copy. That means if you write the names in blank carbon copy, that recipient won't come to know who are the other recipients. It's blank carbon copy.
And what encryptions are there?
I'll be teaching in chapter 3. In detail I'll teach. With example, nice story I'll tell. We are continuing the same topic. We are still on database management systems. And the next subtopic I would say, which I'm starting, is called as database models. What are the various database models? That means how exactly the data will be stored, how we can set the relationship between different data. That is called as database models. The first type of database model is called as First type of a model is called as hierarchical database model. Should I explain? Yes, shall we take an example? Yes, okay, listen very carefully now. In a hierarchical database model, every entry is called as a node. Acha, now node is used in networking also. There, node is a microcomputer, a personal computer. But when I am talking about a node in database management system, it's a entry, it's a record, right? It's a record. And when we have multiple records, we can set a parent-child relationship in that particular table. There are many records. There are many records. One record could be a parent record of a record, and a record could be a child record of a record. Now you might be confused. What is this parent? What is this child? I'll tell you. Let's take into consideration. Satya, you go to college, right? Yeah. Which college you go? Vivekananda College. I think this is the college which falls on the route from Nungambakam to Mandevli, right? Yes. Yes. Vivekananda College. Details about this college is a record. Now listen very carefully. This particular college is having many standards like FY BCom, SY BCom, TY BCom. Now, don't you think the details or the records of SY, of FY, SY and TY belongs to Vivekananda College? So, can I say FY, SY, TY nodes are child entries of the record of Vivekananda College? Okay? And it is very important to remember one rule. A parent record can have any number of child record, but a child record has got only one parent record. I need not elaborate this, everyone knows it. We live in India, not in America. Am I right or wrong? Now listen, hello, shh. Listen very carefully now. In FY BCom, SY BCom, TY BCom, there might be divisions. Like in FY BCom, there is division A, B and C. In SY BCom, there might be division A and division B. In TY BCom, there might be division A and division B. Understanding this? Are you getting this? Same thing is happening. I am just elaborating what I did. I want to elaborate further more. Now, in one division, there are groups. Like 1 roll number to 20 number, group A, group B, group C, group D, group E. So let's say in division B there is a group, will names this group, say 1A, or okay, we will take this for A, 1A, then 1B and 1C. I made a mistake. I wanted to do A1, A2, A3. Whatever, chalo, theek hai. You have understood na? There are different groups with different node names. Okay? And in group 1A, there is a student called Satya. Are you understanding what I am saying? There are many more. There is one Mr. Raj, there is one Mr. Ram Prakash, there is one Mr. Nand Kumar, and so on. Okay, but I want to show, chalo, I'll show one more, Raj. He is also in 1A. Are you understanding this? This is a child of this parent. These are child of this parent. These are child of this parent, child of this parent, this parent. So when we are creating a structure where you can have different nodes at different hierarchical levels, such a type of a model is called as hierarchical database model. Check any entry, it is related with some other entry, and that some other entry is either the parent or the child. Remember one thing, a parent entry can have multiple child entry, but a child entry cannot have multiple parent. It will be having only one single parent entry. Are you understanding? Hierarchical model is ready, and it looks like a inverted tree pattern. Okay. Then the next one is called as network database model. Network database model. Now I am explaining you network database model. Now as I have shown you Vivekananda College, I am showing you an entity MT Educare, MT. MT, okay? Can you see this circle? Yes, no? That is, I am circling MT. This company MT Educare is having 3 verticals. One is called as Mahesh Tutorials Commerce, Mahesh Tutorials Science, Mahesh Tutorials School section, school. Arts is not there. Yeah, are you understanding this? Hello, are you understanding this? Okay, now listen. Shh. Under MTC, there are various zones. Let's keep aside MTS and MT school. There are various zones, like base is in Mumbai, there is one in Pune, one in Chennai. Understanding? In Chennai, MT Educare doesn't teach us 11th and 12th standard. Here we have CPT, IPCC and final. Getting it or not? Now listen, in the IPCC batch of Chennai, there are some students. Like we have one Mr. Kirti Vasan, KV. Okay. Then we have there one Miss She's famous. Then there is one Miss Nandakumar. Please calm down. Am I right? Am I teaching you a network database model? No. Yes, it is a hierarchy model. Saying one statement, just one statement, I'll teach you network database model. There is one more student called as Satya, who is also doing IPCC with the Chennai branch of Mahesh Tutorials Commerce MT Educare, right? Don't you think we are breaking the rule over here? Now this particular child entry is having multiple parent entry, and MT Educare does its advertisement in the same way, your academic parents. It is doing ad in Mumbai. They say your academic parents. MT Educare is your academic parent. So we are breaking the rule over here. So when this particular parent-child relationship, that rule is broken, it becomes a network database model. Now the same, have you understood the model? A child, okay, having multiple parent entry. Now see what I'm doing. MTC is there in Chennai, it is there in Mumbai. MTS is also there in Mumbai. Mahesh Tutorials School is there in Mumbai. Mahesh Tutorials School is also there in Pune. IPCC is also there in Pune. CPT is there in Mumbai. IPCC is also there in Mumbai. Don't see the, it's off. It's on. In Hindi it is called as रुकावट के लिए खेद है. Sorry for the interruption. Hello. Hello. Acha, listen. Listen very carefully now. I was talking about now this particular diagram. Now, if you look at this diagram, it looks a very complex diagram. But there is nothing complex in this diagram. It is existence of an event at n number of places. Okay, and then this becomes what? A network database model. In a network database model, there are nodes. Nodes are entries. Entries are records. There exists a relationship between those records. That is a parent-child record. But the rule is not followed over here. Why not to follow? This is the reason. And such type of thing becomes what? A network database model. Understanding? We are now moving to the third one. That is called as relational database model. It is called as what? Relational database model. Now listen what is relational database model. Suppose, please concentrate. Suppose I have a table who is having the details of employees like employee number, employee name, department, grade. Now this employee is required to be paid salary. So his basic, DA, so his basic, DA, HRA, conveyance, gross salary, tax, net salary, he must have taken some loan, take home salary, and so on. Take home salary and so on. Okay. Now listen. There is one employee belonging to HR department. He just wants to check the department and department and designation of a specific employee. Don't you think he have to unnecessarily access the entire record? All these things will also be loaded on the computer. Those things which are not required, they are also loaded in the computer. Waste of time, waste of resources. Raj is from accounts department. He needs to calculate the salary of all the employees. So if he is opening this particular table because he want to access this part, all this thing is also getting opened, which is not necessary. What I mean to say over here is, if we keep one file, it will be very difficult for us to access it. Loading time will be more, updation time will be more. Instead of that, if I can split this table into two separate tables, this way, this becomes personal details, this becomes salary details. Now if a person wants to work with this particular table, he will be using only this table. The loading time will be less. A person like Raj wants to calculate the salary, he will be accessing only this particular table. This is not required. But there is a need for linking this. So what we'll do is, we will have ENO, employee number, which is the primary key, and we can link this employee number with this employee number. So we need not access one full table. We can access only one table at a given point of time. And if we want to access the data from both the tables, that is possible by linking this ENO with this ENO. Am I right or wrong? If I say the department of employee number 1, what is his salary? I'll just access the employee number 1 and I'll take his salary. So I'll be able to get it. So this splitting of table into small tables, so that we can reduce data repetition, data redundancy. This process is called as normalization. And this type of method of maintaining a database is called as relational database model. Are you understanding? Are you getting it? Okay, so that was nothing but relational database model. Before I go to the next topic, which is very big, let us finish a no breaker, please. Okay, I'll give you a break at 12:30. Not now. Hey, listen. First, you will be noting this part, and then you have to draw. Okay? Now drawing this is compulsory. It's not optional this time. You have to draw it. Otherwise you won't understand. there is one more database model remaining, and that is called as object-oriented database model. The first things first is let's try to understand what is object-oriented programming systems. OOPS. It is also called as OOPS. Object-oriented programming systems. Should I start? Yes or no? Listen very carefully. It is a bit difficult concept. In object-oriented programming systems, a user will have to prepare an object which is derived from a class. This particular object derives the features from the class, and then this particular object will be used to solve the problem or will be used to solve a specific program. This is nothing but object-oriented programming systems. Now, I know that you have understood nothing. What class? What object? It is said that an object inherits the properties of the class. Still, nothing is understood. Okay, we'll take an example. Please be quiet. I am saying a word, car. I am saying car. Now please be quiet. That boy. Yep. In your mind, you are seeing which car? Sorry? Benz is the name of a company. I want to know the car model. Shh, hey, please. C220, C220 Mercedes Benz. Sit. Okay, no problem. Here, Miss Kirti. When I said car, which car came in your mind? You are Kirti? Otherwise, I won't explain this. Huh? Yes, Kirti. Lamborghini. I have never seen Lamborghini, so I don't know what she's talking about. But Lamborghini is the name of a company. Fine. She's saying Lamborghini. Raj. Maruti 800. It's a outdated product, but still that is coming in his mind. There. Yes, you only. What's your name? Which car came in your mind? Honda Civic, IV Tech. What's your name? Manideep. Which car came in your mind? Mitsubishi Pajero. It's a SUV. Okay, now listen. I was talking about something abstract. I was talking about something abstract which is driven on 4 wheels. It will be having a steering wheel. It will be having an engine. 4 to 5 people can sit. There will be a bonnet on the front side. There will be storage space on back side. And this was the thing was in my mind. That is nothing but a class. That is a class which is having all the features. It's an abstract model. It's just abstract. You were thinking about objects. I started with, yeah, that boy. What's her name? Manish. Manish said Mercedes Benz C220. I'm not sure about this model, but I've seen somewhere C220. That is actually deriving the features of the class car. Whatever features I was thinking about in that abstract model class, abstract model cars, all those features are derived in his car. He was talking about Maruti 800. Those features are inherited, those properties are inherited in his car. Same properties, properties might be different, but the same class properties are inherited in your car. Same is the case with her. Am I right or wrong? Okay, so this is nothing but we are learning two entities, a class and a object. I'll simplify it. Birds. I'm thinking about a type of a living being, birds. There might be sparrow in the mind of Mr. Raj. So what is sparrow? The properties of a bird will be there in that sparrow. Having wings, bones will be hollow, and so on. Satya might be thinking about crow. Manish might be thinking about peacock. And Ram Prakash must be thinking about a pigeon. Transferring message. Now listen. It's not necessary that whatever properties, it's not necessary that an object will have all the properties of the class. But it is absolutely necessary that whatever properties are available with the object, they all belong to that particular class. So class is at a macro level. It's an abstract thing. And then we are deriving what? Objects. Understanding? Ram Prakash is an object of class males. No? Or yes? Of course yes. Understanding? Getting it or not? So now are you understanding the concept of class and objects? But still, the concept is not clear. What is those things doing with this? Now, check a class called as integrated systems or integrated circuits. Okay, that is what? A class. And we are deriving an object from that integrated circuits, a calculator. We are deriving what? Calculator. Now calculator also has integrated circuits. So obviously it is derived from a class called as integrated circuits. For the time being, keep this aside. What is the square root of 11,348? He can't tell me. He will not be able to tell me. What is the square root generally of 15,000? It's very difficult. It is very difficult. Use a book and tell me what is the square root. Square root. It's difficult. There is a procedure which I also don't know, frankly speaking. There is some procedure. But do you think that if I don't know the procedure of finding out the square root, I will never ever be able to find out the square root? No. What I'll do is, I'll use a calculator. I'm using a calculator. 15,000 and square root is 122.47448 whatever. Listen very carefully. There was a problem finding the square root and I didn't know the procedure. But it doesn't mean that I won't be able to get the solution. With the help of this object, I am able to find the solution. And this object belongs to a class integrated circuits. Are you understanding now how these objects are used to solve problems? Getting it? For example, take Excel. In Excel, there are several functions. There are many complex functions. Take the same function, square root. You are supposed to find the square root of some particular number. Do you know the procedure? Do you know the procedure of finding square root? No, we don't know. But just say equal to square root bracket and the number and press enter. You will be able to get it. That means we don't know the procedure, but still we can use an object for finding a solution of our problem. And that particular object is deriving its features from a class. This is nothing but implementation of object-oriented programming systems. Many programmers don't know the exact process of getting the output or of getting a solution. So what they do is, they know where we can find this solution. They know the class who can provide the solution. So what they do is, they create the object of that class, and in that object, they push in the value, and that object will be giving them the answer. This type of programming is called as object-oriented programming systems. Now, are you understanding what it is? Okay. Now, the same concept has to be implemented in object-oriented database model. Now, listen very carefully. Now we have a new type of database model, and that is called as object-oriented database model. Can you see the outer box? That is a class. Okay, a class of student. That means all the features of the student will be in that class. Can you see a box inside that box? That is the object, and that is named as student, having various attributes. Type means CA, CS, CWA. Region means Mumbai, Chennai. Age 17, 18, 19, 20. Understanding? Yes, what is object and what is class? An object is always encapsulated inside the class, because object always takes the properties from its class. Right? Then we have a class called as teacher. Okay, and then there is an object called as, say, called as teacher, we can say. Okay, having various attributes: ID number, date of birth, address, qualification. Right? Now there can be a class under a class, that is called as subclass. So these two are subclass of class teacher. Like accounts teacher is a type of teacher only, na? And computer teacher is a type of teacher. And now there is one more object called as syllabus. There is a class of syllabus. And we are deriving an object of class syllabus. In that there will be chapters divided into questions, divided into points. Now all these particular classes come together, but they are not coming together physically. Okay, their objects are coming together physically. What we can do is, we can say a teacher is teaching the students of a particular type and region, and he will be teaching the particular syllabus depending upon where his standard and batch change. A teacher is teaching to which standard? You will take from this one. Which batch he is teaching? Take from this one. Which chapter he is teaching? Take from this one. What type of teacher he is? That is accounts teacher, or a computer teacher, or a maths teacher, or a theory teacher, or whatever it is. So when you take some objects which have the properties of their predefined class, and when you relate them, see, these are, now see from database point of view, student is a table having these fields. Teacher is a table having these fields. Syllabus is a table having these fields. Okay, and these fields are interrelated with each other. Which batch the teacher is teaching? Here is the batch. What type of batch it is? You will get it from the students. This is how it is interrelated. This type of relation between the various tables is referred to as object-oriented database model. Getting it? Understanding? So that was nothing but object-oriented database model. Okay, please take down this table.